Today, we start a 75-kilometer journey traversing the west coast of Vancouver Island. Hiking through deep mud, fording high rivers, crossing surge channels, countless dilapidated bridges, and climbing over 100 ladders. This is the West Coast Trail. All packed up. Drop off trash, use the restroom, hop on this ferry. Still super nervous.
I think no problem.
Guess this is what I signed up for. Oh boy. That is crazy. There will be no videos on the way up because I am going to focus on keeping my feet and hands on the rungs. It really wasn't that bad, but I am terrified to have to go down stuff like that. Here we go. Oh, I'm gonna take my trekking poles out. So these routes seem to be a lot of people how they injure themselves. So I'm gonna bring my poles out to try and preemptive strike on falls. Okay, so I think today's hike is about 6 kilometers or so from Gordon River to Thrasher, but it's supposed to be a very gnarly 6 kilometers where the average pace is close to 1 kilometer an hour. We'll see how this goes. Tried to train, but not overtrained, so I didn't wear myself out. But this is kind of a different trail, more obstacle course than hiking, so a little bit hard to prepare for that. Been going for a little bit here. Sometimes I have to remind myself to look up because I'm so worried about where I'm putting my feet. So I have to retrain myself to just stop for a second to look up at the grand picture. Coming up on our first sketchy bridge. So there's a lot of bridges like this along the trail, and I'm just gonna walk in the center, be mindful. This one's actually not too bad compared to some that I've seen, because at least this has a very solid center if you're walking directly over the log underneath. Little nerve-wracking because like some of the planks you step on and the whole board moves, the whole railing moves. Ooh. Whoa, that one's huge. It looks like a shelf. This for sure is how a lot of people get hurt. Gotta be very deliberative about where you're stepping. Okay, we have reached kilometer 74. Welcome to the West Coast Trail. 10 o'clock and I just passed my first people going the other direction, coming from Thrasher, which is where I'm camping tonight. First of probably many more to come. So peaceful in here. You just see peekaboo views of the water. Oh boy, we end up down there. I'm seeing a ladder. How steep is this guy? Oof. It's just a little nerve-wracking because your shoes get muddy. do not want to slip on that ladder. Okay. All right, first down ladder done. That wasn't so bad, I think, because it was angled, so your feet want to go in instead of slipping out. I think the first ladder was pretty vertical, which makes it a lot tougher. Yeah, that was not bad at all. Reached our third ladder for the day. Top of the ladder, 73-kilometer mark. No sooner do you come up, ladder back down. Down that one, and then there's another one over there. This ladder felt sketchy. Some of them are like this, right? So it's barely pinned. You can see they've replaced a couple. They need to replace about 10 more there. Okay. So now down again, and that's a huge one up. Down, go across, I'm gonna go straight back up. So I just came down 2 ladders. One up there, and then this one. Amazing peekaboo views of the water there. And now I get to go up 2 more ladders over there. And this is what I signed up for. So far, it's still fun. We'll see how many ladders it takes before it's not fun anymore. On to the next ladder. A little cattywampus. So I've been trying to walk on the support beams, because as you see, most of the ones that are broken, they're snapped in the middle. So trying not to walk in the middle. Yeah, and then I try and walk, this is the high side, so I try and walk on the high side. That way, hopefully, if I slip and fall on the pathway and not off the little walkway. That's the hope anyway. Okay, this will be fun. Hashtag sarcasm. Up that way. It's fine, except for the places I have to take a big step. But my motto for this trail is slow your roll, be methodical. So that's what I'm gonna do. Just slow it down and pay attention to where I'm stepping. That last kilometer seemed a bit faster. I don't know if it was, but we are at 72, counting down. Da, 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 da. Steam donkey. Can you imagine getting this thing up here? Oh boy. That's probably the first good dispersed camping spot really seen so far. Oh, there's a little puffer coming up the trail beyond the steam donkey. The first sizable climb. This forest, very much like Washington, very dense. Ooh, cool. We've reached the barrel, guys. You know what the barrel means? It signifies the highest point on the trail. Ooh. Rocks and dirt. Ooh. Seen better days, eh? Okay. Ta-da! So I guess back in the day, I don't know, 20 years ago even, you could see the water, but now the trees have filled in. Maybe more than 20, I don't know. I'll look it up. But you used to be able to have a clear view. 1990s is when the view disappeared. Just checked. I was gonna stop and take a break on a log there, but I actually think I'm gonna keep going because I looked and it looks like there might be some creek crossings down here. And I think I'm gonna take a break by the water. That way I can drink a ton and refill my water. Stay between the caution tape. Looks like a crime scene around here. I knew it had been a while that this was inevitable. Here we go. What's this one look like? Well, missing some rungs down near the bottom. Okay, let's get to it. Probably shouldn't be stopping on the ladder like this, but there's a cool mushroom here. Fungus. Check that out. Cool. Right where the rungs are missing, that was a big stretch. My legs did not stretch that far. Last little, like 6 inches with a leap of faith. Walk towards the outside where there's the supports. Unfortunately, this is one of the creeks, but I am not going down there for water. Yeah. I think this is a perfect spot to take a nice break. So I'm super close to the junction that takes you down to Thrasher Cove. So I want to say it's like a steep 0.6 miles from that junction to get to the beach. So I have maybe 3/4 of a mile left to hike today, and it's about noon. So plenty of time. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break here. I don't want to get in super late because I do want to find a spot to camp and set up and relax, but I need water, and this is a good spot to have solitude. This little guy barely caught my eye. See him in there? That's where we're going, to Thrasher. And just barely up the trail here, there should be a fork in the road. One route will take you inland and bypass Thrasher Cove, which will also bypass Owen Point. The other one will take you down to the beach. And apparently it's like 1/2 kilometer of pretty steep ups and downs to get to the beach. So we might be in for a little bit of a ride, but we'll see. But we are gonna go down to the beach for an epic day tomorrow. Okay, that's where we came from, 5 hearty kilometers. And then up there, it says Camper Bay, 8 kilometers. But that would be taking the forest route. But we want to go this direction. Thrasher Cove. Oh, cool. Look at this fungus over here. Cool. Almost looks like a flower from up there, huh? Whoa. Ay, ay, ay. You know, it's hard for them to keep up with this. They gotta haul in all this stuff to try and repair it. And the climate is such, you know, you're in kind of wet environment. It just probably decays much faster than other places. Might walk on this ridgeline for a bit, but then we'll drop down to the beach. You can hear the waves down there. I can even see a tiny bit of beach right there. So, just make our way down this hill. What is it? High tide, I think, is at 3 something p.m. And so it was recommended to put it up as high on the beach as you can, because the high tide today is going to be right at the point which you want to be as high on the beach to not get flooded for the middle of the night high tide. So it'll be cool to be down there at 3 p.m. to see kind of what I'm in for in the middle of the night. My first legit peekaboo views of the water. Of course. More ladders. Wouldn't be a proper descent to the campground if there wasn't a ladder, right? Oh, this is like the biggie. Oh my gosh. Do you see that? At least 3 of them in a row. Just keep telling myself to take it slow. It's going to be my highest likelihood of success, is slowing down. So it does look like there's a lot of people down there because they had to hit the tide to get to Owen Point, so they came in. There is no way for me to beat them by being on the earliest ferry over. It would be impossible because they should be through the point over there. 1 down, 2 more to go. Okay, 2 down, 1 to go. Whoops, I actually meant 3 down, 1 to go. So that's a bear pole. You put your food on it. It's always fun to try and use that stick to hang your stuff up there. Sarcastic. And then the bear bins. So hopefully there's plenty of space in the bear bins. Today started at the question mark. We hopped on the ferry which took us across Gordon River. and started in right at point A, climbing the ladder, then hiked along this trail, which was interior, and then dropped steeply down to the beach and descended the final ladders to the beach. So that's where we're camped right now. It's right about there. So tomorrow, super early, gonna get up and take that trail to Owen Point, being very conscientious of tides. And then from there, hopefully, if that doesn't take too long, go all the way to access point A, where that arrow is. Go up and inland from there, and then take the trail all the way to camper. If I can't do that fast enough, then I'll have to take B. But this stretch here is not great, I was told. It's very not ideal. But if you have to get up there because of the tides, you gotta do what you gotta do.